Welcome back to On-Cue Billiards in La Mesa. This is the hot seat match of the Duelo 599 and under. This is for the winner of the A side, who will be in the final. It's Eric Lefever, who goes by Noodles. He won the toss. He's got the break here. Makes the 8 in the corner. How's the shape on the 1? Well, he's got a thin cut here for the 1, and that'll take him down table for this 2-ball. Even race to 5 here. Eric is a 5.97, so just 2 points under the cut-off. And myself, I'm a 5.60. Oh, and he just hits that a little too thick, leaves in the jaws for me. So I'm just looking at coming rail first. Ever so slightly with a little bit of right-hand English. That should take me off 3 rails and get me down on that 2-ball. Actually, it'll be 4 rails, including the left-hand long rail here, then the top rail, right-hand long rail, left-hand long rail once again, and then coming down. Actually, if I touch that, that's 5 rails. How's that? Looking good. I'm looking at the gap here between the 5, 7. I'll take the cue ball just off that right-hand long rail and get it up there. A nice gap to aim for. And ideally, I'd like to get just past the pocket line so I can play just a 1 rail shot out for the 4 on the right-hand side of the table. So it would be nice just to go slightly past the pocket line on that 3. Looking a bit straight. Have I made it? I've got the gap for sure, but it would be nice to have that little bit of a natural angle as well, so you're not having to force the cue ball where it doesn't want to go. And kind of mistimed that one. It's a little bit ropey. The cue ball scratches, so just about everything that could go wrong with that shot did do. So ball in hand here for Eric. Can he get out here? Draws up table's got the nice angle on the 4 here. Could just play forward with a bit of left, or he could stun back, depending on what he fancies. And he's just throwing back, nearly scratching in the side. Now, can he hold for this 6, or will he just let his stroke out and come around the angles? Yeah, I think that was the better shot to play. Could have been a bit tentative otherwise. So looking good here. Just a little stun shot, I would imagine. Straight-ish 7. And a stop shot. And I say that's fine. No need for him to pot that ball. So Eric gets the first rack. Break in here in rack 2. If you like what you're watching, folks, please give us a like, subscribe, and you'll be notified of any future posts and when we go live. Makes the 2 in the bottom left. And he's going to have a shot at the 1. Slightly hampered by the 6 ball, but the 3 is up there. So what he's got to do is drop this in and try and get above the 8. Could even just play out a little bit, get below the 8, probably more of a margin of error that way. And that's what he's done. 1 rail down, now he's playing the 2 rails with running English. Looking good here already. Can just avoid the 9 and 6. And stop shot again. The 6 looks straight enough to do that. Slightly gone past the pocket line, so slightly off angle. Cue ball's going towards the 9 after making this 6, but I think he can just hold it. And this is the one shot he's got to be a little bit accurate with, get around the table. And he just seemed to get down on 1 stroke that. I'm sure when he looks back at that, he'll know that all he needed to do was take a little moment. A fraction of a second would have been enough. I think he just played it a bit too quick. And so he's left me a thin snick here. There's no way I can hold for this 8, so I'm looking at the line cue ball's going to take. It's going to hit this long rail on the right, and I want to get a lot of right hand English. I want to try and come down to the right hand side of that 9 ball and hit the bottom rail, left hand long rail, and then back up. So initially I was going to aim like kind of low with with right, and then I've just raised my tip up at the last minute. Bit of a change of heart. And where's the cue ball going? It's almost inevitable, isn't it? You just got to make sure that you pick a good line. Those pockets are always there, and that's not unlucky. It's a bad shot. And so this is a nice chance for Eric to get to 2-0. And as his cue ball's coming down for a perfect, straightforward 9, once again I'll concede there. Don't need him to make that 9. Let's just get on with the next game. So breaking 2-0. What can Noodles do with these? Well, he's going to come up dry. 6, thought about dropping. And entertain playing the carom, trying to knock the 8 in. But I think if I can just bank this 1 ball in the top right, I'll be able to draw the cue ball back down the table. It's a bit of a big 5 ball. I need to find a gap between the 9-5, quite a narrow window. Unfortunately, that's not it. So snookered on the 2. Gonna try and kick this in that top right corner if I get the bridge out. Just working out. Need to catch it just to the right of centre off this bottom rail. So it's just to the right of the left-hand edge of that scorer on the right-hand side of the, in between the 2 diamonds. It's close. Not quite close enough. I'm not quite sure if the 3 will pass that 8. It's a bit tight. Yeah, on this table it probably will. And just cheat the pocket a little bit. I was just waiting for the traffic of people walking by here. I'm coming across nicely for the 3. Yeah, looks like he's going to pot this directly. And then the 4-6 combo awaits. Nice and gentle with this, lead the 4 over the corner. A little bit of right English. Looking good here for 3-0. Just lets the play out and get a nice line on this 7. Well, he's gone a little bit past where he wanted to be, so he's probably going to hit the 9 with this, but can't see it going wrong really. Well, kind of a slightly rushed shot there. Just drawing the cue ball away from the 9. So an unexpected reprieve. And I just have to avoid the scratch in the left side pocket. It's a bit closer than I would have liked. And now you've got to find a line to approach this 9 on a potting line. And again, you've got to watch out for that right hand side pocket scratch. This is not a good line. I'm going to finish on the 50-yard line. So very important ball here. 2-1's a big difference to 3-0. And I get the break as well in rack 4, so giving this all my concentration. Okay, got that contact point seared into my brain. And just a plain ball, no English. Relieved to see that one drop, so it's 2-1. And with the break here, rack 4, how's the cut break going? That's good. Slots the 1 right in, and is the 2 going to shape up? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, unfortunately, snookered behind the 7. So I'm going to push out here. And always trying to find a shot that my opponent might turn down, but I've got a secret plan for a good safety to get the advantage if he doesn't take it. You don't want to make it too obvious, otherwise he'll go straight away and put you in trouble. Well, that wasn't exactly as planned. The 9's come across and actually just snookered me. So he doesn't hesitate in putting me back in. Fortunately, it's only a tiny little bit of the 9 that's in the path, so I fancy the little swerve here. A little dab of side. Missed it on the way up. Got kind of lucky, caught it on the way back and knocked it in the side pocket. And there is a carom shot here off the 3 to knock that 9 in. And I don't think I can turn it down. I've got to go for this. Just a straightforward, direct draw shot from the 3 to the 9. Where's it going? Is it going to make the side? A couple more rolls? Oh dear. By the way, if that would have fallen in, it would have been replaced. Just having a bit of a giggle there. So what's he going to do here? I'll try and draw onto the 9. He's digging deep. Oh, look at this for a shot. What a belter that is. Fantastic shot by Noodles. Well deserved. So he gets the 3-1. Breaking here in rack 5. That was a great shot. I did think for a moment when the 3 rattled, just for a brief second, that I might be coming back to the table, but then the 3 wobbled and flew in the opposite corner and the 9 went in, so well played. I'm getting a chance here with his dry break straight away, and there's a shot on this 2. And looking at the 3-9, that's kind of looking tasty in that corner for a combination, so if I can drop this in and leave myself straightforward 2 down the rail, I don't want to leave it too steep, so let's just try and roll this in nice and slow. And I think I can hold. Ideally, I'd like to be on this left hand side of the table in line with that to make it, but that's not really an option unless I play a very ambitious shot. I think I'm just going to put all my concentration on putting this 2 in, and the cue ball's probably going to be somewhere near the middle of the table. Well, it's certainly on the mid-line, further away than I would have liked. So I've actually got to cut this 3 as if I'm going to make the 3. I'm not sure. I think maybe the best way to play this would have been a slow roll. but give that a little bit of a wallop, and I had a spin on it as well. I had a bit of right hand English, so didn't really threaten the pocket, but could have been worse. Three's gone fairly safe. Could make the 3-4 combo, of course. Let's see what he fancies. I think he may have been playing the combo there. It was hard to tell. But it certainly obscured a great deal of the 3. I'm just looking at this, see if there's any chance of a cross corner bank, but I'm not sure I can cut the 3 enough. I've got to, oh sorry, not sure I can hit enough of the 3. I think I'm cutting it thinner than required. The main thing is I want to get the cue ball out of there, so avoid the double kiss on the 3, avoid the 4, try and get the cue ball maybe up table. Well, got lucky. 3 at the 5 and went in. Thinking of a thin cut on the far left edge of that 4 cue ball to come round 3, maybe 4 rails and get above the little wall of balls up there. Got to catch it thin though. Got it a bit too thick. It's coming all the way up the table, but did manage to get the cue ball in target zone and a nice little rub there, so have snookered him. Noodle's looking at a 2 rail kick in this side pocket. Just misjudges it, so I've got ball in hand here. So it's all about getting shape on the 7. So trying to work it out, what's the pattern? So 4 in the side, 5 in the opposite side. I want to try and leave myself straight on the 5. That's a bit careless. I've rolled quite far past the line, so now I'm going away. Going all the way down table with this cue ball. So unnecessary distance being travelled. And that was all through a little careless 4, which was right over the pocket. So it just shows you can't afford to take anything for granted. And now I'm completely out of shape here. Very tricky shot indeed. If I do cut it in, I'm very likely to collide with the 8. So the chances of getting up for the 7 are vanishingly small right now, but I don't see a good safety, so I'm thinking of going for this anyway. Maybe trying to get a bit lucky. If I can get a nice kiss off the 8, maybe I'll still find my way up the table. Or if I can just get over to the left hand side, I may still have a snicky type cut. Cutting across the face of the 6th, not easy this. And I catch it too thick. It could have been worse. Cue ball's gone fairly safe. Looks like he's stunning across to the side rail. And once again, seemed to play that a little bit quick. Final delivery, but not a bad finish. Kissing the 7. So it's just a thin cut, safety here, the right hand edge. Try and leave that 6 somewhere near the 7 and get the cue ball up. Ideally, cover behind the 8 would be ideal. Just looking there to make sure there was no double shot on, so I could have maybe tried to bank the 6 past the 9 and kept the cue ball down by the 7, but that's not on. Got it a bit thicker than I wanted, so cue ball's pulled up short. Still not bad, but not got him in trouble at all. That's a nice stroke back. And just misses sneaking behind the 9. I'm just checking in. There's no way you can scratch off the left-hand side of this 6. The cue ball's definitely going to run into the 7. So I'm going to try and bank the 6 up to the middle of the top cushion and use the 7 as a stopper, keep the cue ball down here. There is a chance the 7 drops in. Slightly too heavy with the 6 ball, so it is cuttable. It's rolled about a diamond back down the table, but it'll take a good shot. Will be a natural to come back to the 7, but I'm not sure if he actually played the pot there, the way he's hit that. Maybe he's just trying to put the 6 behind the 9, but he has left a cut here, and if I can play this delicately with bottom and right hand English, I can avoid that 9 and I'll come 2 rails down towards the 7. Once again, trying to visualise this contact point. I'll make this 6 clean. I've got to beat that left hand side pocket with the bottom and the right hand English. And that's turned out just about perfect. I've even come down and finished below the 7, so I've got the natural angle to get up. I want to get a straight 8 in that side pocket. Could just drop that in and leave a simple 9 in the corner. It's about speed control on this, a little bit of right English. And that looks okay. So I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm going to get to 3-2 and I'll be breaking in rack 6. Briefly entertained using the bridge, but then I thought twice about that and just put the little extension piece on the cue. Don't take anything for granted. So there we go. If you're liking the video, folks, please subscribe and you'll be notified next time we publish or go live. Do appreciate that, really helps the channel. Also feel free to leave us a comment, ask us any questions that you want. And the 6 just about has the pace to fall in. And at first I was going to go for the 1 in the right corner, but I'm going to be a cue ball flying around the table, so I changed my mind and tried to draw onto the 5 and knock that in, but didn't execute that very well. And could have been worse actually, that left him an awful lot. So Noodle's just choosing to try and hide the cue ball. And he's got me snookered behind this 2, but I'm getting the short stick out. Pretty confident to make contact with this 1. And the 5 being where it is, it could be a combination, quite a big target. My big failing when it comes to jumping is I have a tendency to, as I hit the cue ball, to lift my bridge hand up off the table and almost do a little hop on the spot. So trying to focus these days on keeping that bridge hand firm on the table, and managed to make that shot. But this 1 looks a little bit scratchy. So turning down the pot, just trying to get the cue ball up the table and then back down below the balls here, trying to get cover. And that's okay. Full ball snooker behind the 2. So Noodle's going to get his jump stick out here. Makes a good contact with the one. It's going for the bank in this bottom left, I think, but that's going to come and dress up for me over this top left corner pocket. And just a little bit of bottom left-hand English. Not too pacey. Should be able to approach that too on the pocket line. A little bit too far. Bit of a cut back now. Have to draw over to the left-hand long rail and back out for the 3. Slightly overcut it. Have I got a bit fortunate? I think I have. Just covering the pocket or the potting position on the 2. So I don't know if he's going to play a little slow swerve here, try and bend the cue ball around that 9. No, he's kicking. Managed to catch the bottom side of it, so sends it up the table. Got good separation. I'm just looking to see, has he got cover? I think he's left me the left-hand edge. Can't make it direct in the top right corner. But thinking I might be able to do a cross bank in the top left here, so obviously enough of the 2 ball for that. And if we can try and get a bit of left-hand spin on the cue ball, could get a good result with the white as well. A bit of a 2-way shot. I didn't really get the left spin on it, but that has finished beautifully. Really nice finish for me. A bit unfortunate for Noodles, but to just raise the 8 and finish there. But I give it every chance to do that. The shot I played. I was kicking this from behind, I think, but manages to go around the back of it. So golden chance here now to get level. Just these 6 balls left. All about getting good shape on this 3. Briefly entertaining what line to come to approach on if I could get on that line, but that means potting the 2 in the top left and playing 2 rails with a bit of right English. So I'm thinking about doing that, but then my favoured option whenever I've got ball in hand is to do a slow roll with top spin into the side pocket usually, and that way it makes the speed control the easiest of any shot that you could judge, so you should really get the cue ball where you want it. Just making this ever so slightly off straight, so the cue ball is going to be going down table a bit more rather than just going diagonally across it. And try and just get to the middle of the table with the white. Just past that little spot you can see there that's going to be got covering up a hole in the cloth. And finish straight enough that I can just baby this. I'll just come off the bottom rail. Just try and stay slightly below the potting line on that 4. Just make it a natural angle. Come off the long rail with a bit of left English. Try and get straight or slightly above the pocket line on that 7. Leave a simple 8 in the bottom left. But I've slightly overhit this. I've run on past my desired spot, so now I've got to cut it in and come round 3 rails. I'm going to play for the 8 in the bottom right here. So a little bit of right-hand English required and good speed control. It's looking good. I'm just going to drop this in, drift the cue ball forward and leave a straight 9 in the bottom left. So happy to be levelling up the match here, 3 each, and I will have the break in rack 7. So if you like what you're watching, give us a like and subscribe to the video and you'll be notified next time we publish or go live. This will be a good time to get the cut break working. Unfortunately, one goes above the left side pocket and presents Noodles with a chance. Nicely shaped. Perfect on the 2. 3's nearby. And the 4 and 5 are also waiting in the centre of the table. But where's this cue ball going? He's just lost it. From behind the 9. 2 rail kick, I think, here. He went direct and makes it in the corner. Holds his hand up. But they all count. Nice shape on the 4. Stop shot for the 5. But just rattles that. So, no offensive option here. I'm going to just thin off the top of the 4. Trying to cut it towards the 6, but make sure it doesn't come out, so it'll pass the 6, and you don't want it to be a combo with the 6 either, so just really just breathe on that 4. And a little bit of right English. Just get the cue ball to approach this top cushion, and you want cover behind the 9. And that looks pretty good. Simple hit off the rail, but you never really know where the balls are going to go. And on another day that could have finished snookered, but he's left me a chop. A chop, by the way, is a cross between a shot and a chance. So yeah, I've got a shot or a chance in that top left corner. I'm just looking to see if the 5 will pass the 7, and it's obviously very, very tight. Would be nice if I could get the cue ball just over here where I'm pointing now and get that 5 in the bottom left. That'd be perfect. But the angle I've got on this 4 might mean that I'd have to play a little bit of a baby type shot, and I want to really let the stroke out on this. Play a positive shot. Just a little reset there. And you can see they ended up getting a lot more action on the cue ball than I really wanted. I actually put that 4 in the left hand side of the pocket, so made it a little bit of a thinner cut than it actually needed to be. So I'm now forced into going for this tight 5 past the 7. I don't get close really, but left a little slow roll in the side pocket. We could take a more positive cut up the rail into the top right. I think the drop in the side avails easy position on the 6. But he just plays a nice slow roll instead. That's a nice shot. The choice of options with this could play with a bit of a right English, come around the 2 rails for the 7. Nicely played. And it's finished pretty straight, so got a bit of thinking to do. The 9, of course, is in the way for this 8 in the left side pocket, so we could just play for the 8-9 combo. He's gone to get the extension piece for his cue. But to try and get on the 9 in one of the corners, either the top left or bottom left, requires quite a bit of additional work, so happy to play for the combination. So this for a 4-3 lead, get himself on the hill. No. And even though that 8's gone safe, I'm delighted to be coming back to the table. I'm going to try and find a way to put him in trouble, or at least keep the 8 safe. And I don't like the straightforward bank shot to bring it down. Try and get the separation and cover behind the 9. That's a little bit tricky. So I'm thinking I can just maybe bank the 8 into the second diamond down from that top left corner. So it's kind of a slow roll shot, hidden at about half ball. I'll get the cue ball over to the right side. Maybe I could try and get that on the right long rail, so there'd need to be a little bit of right English on the cue ball. Whatever you do, don't bank it down over the middle, and don't baby it so much you leave it too close to the corner, so you've got to try and get the balls rolling a similar sort of speed. That double kiss is not what was planned, and it could have been a lot worse, all things considered. I'll make this cut and probably play it with a little bit of left to come down for the 9. Could just do plain ball. Well, I think that's what he tried, but missed it on the way there. Holds his hand up a little bit because it's not left me anything easy. I'm just working this one out. We've got to cut this 8 ball to the first diamond out, or just about there actually, like 1.5 diamonds out from that top right hand corner, and then the 8's ultimate destination is the middle of the top cushion. The cue ball is going to come down 2 rails and finish below the 9. I'm happy with that. I think I've got the cover. If not, it's certainly not an easy shot for Noodles. Is he playing the bank here? He certainly is. And it comes up short. Where's he going to finish? That's always the risk when you play those. They can go safe, but they can also dress up, and so wonderful opportunity to get to the hill first here. I'll play this with a little bit of top, tiny bit of right hand English. And that's looking good. So I will be 4-3 up, breaking the balls in rack 8. What kind of a break can I manage here? I've just got the one slightly below the side pocket that time. So a nice opener for Noodles. 2's waiting over this left side pocket. All he's got to do is stun this in. But just rattles it. Maybe a little harder than was necessary. And see how far he got the cue ball off the rail there. That was also, I mean, he was cheating the pocket a little bit, because it was a pretty straight shot. So just a stop shot. And then drift down the table. Try and get this 3. The bottom right past the 6. But don't finish straight. Leave yourself a bit short, so you've got the angle to come up for that 4-6 combo. Little bounce. Now the 8-9 are a bit awkward, so I'm just wondering if there's any chance I could just flick off them as I'm going up the table. What you don't want to do is hit the 9 full ball, because that would ruin the combination that you want to play next. Well, I caught the wrong side of the 9, but quite fortunate here. I've opened the 8-9 and I can still see the thin edge on the 4 to cut this onto the 6. And what I want to do is make sure I get that 4 ball to hit the 6 full ball, so it stays exactly there. You don't want to be hitting it to one side or the other where the 4 could move away from the pocket. It's looking good. A little kiss on the 8. I've just got to put the extension piece on here. Just want to be careful. Don't finish straight on the 5. A bit of stretching. That's exactly what I've done. I'm quite fortunate the 5's close enough to the side pocket, so the corner pocket, that I can play this rail first with a little trace of right hand English. It just takes me up the table towards the 7. Little stun shot off the rail, straight 8 in this bottom right, stop shot for the 9. Remain calm. Nice stroke on it. And this is the key shot here. These sometimes just take that little bit of extra mental and psychological preparation. There's pressure on this, and I didn't quite play a good shot. I was very fortunate indeed, given that I've missed it, to line it up with the 9 and get cover. But that was a great opportunity for the match. We all miss balls, we all miss shots, but I think you need to sometimes just take that little bit of extra time, especially on the crucial winning ball. And ever so slightly on tilt after having missed that, I'm now thinking I need to go for this bank. And you should probably go for the bank, but I am in two minds as to whether to play as a bit of a shot to nothing, try and get the cue ball down on the bottom rail, or fully commit and get perfect shape on the 9, which is the one I choose here. Of course, if you don't make the 8, well, I don't catch it a fraction too full, need to cut it a bit more, give Eric a nice chance to level up here and get to hill. So I've just got to try and forget about what's just happened. We all miss balls. The real mistake isn't missing the ball, it's allowing it to affect you as you move forward. So on the hill, and we get a thrilling decider. I'm just having a little bit of a chat with Winnie Tolentino, who's sitting there watching the game. And so this is the final rack. Who's going to come out on top? Well, Noodles comes up dry, but it's a good safe. No shot. And I'm thinking about playing a push out here. Once again, trying to make a plan where I can play a turning safety shot if he turns it down, but obviously you've got to make it appear to be a bit of a poison chalice that he might hand back to me if that's what you want to do. And you could try and thin it off the left hand edge and just avoid the 8. You'd have to put left hand side on it. And you could try and swing the cue ball around and get underneath the 9-5, but choosing to push out here. So yeah, I've just made the wall of balls target bigger and left the same shot. So I'm hoping he gives me this back. I think he's going to take it himself. Yeah, he's just looking there. That's where he wants his cue ball, in below those 3 balls. So collides with him, and that'll do. Very nice. Got the one right over the pocket, and he was locked up in a little tight jam. And what's worse is the 6 ball's in the way of the natural angle. So coming off the 1 rail kick, it's a bit tricky. Just trying to work it out. See how far off the natural corner to corner line that cue ball is. Well, this is what I'm aiming for now, just trying to come just past the side pocket. Can I get there? You can't play below the side pocket because of the 6 ball. But my concern looking at this is that the cue ball is going to come a bit short of the 1, to the left of the 1 if I play it here. And you'd have to almost play a little bit further up and put bottom on the cue ball to try and, yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's about a diamond away. So that shot wasn't on, the one I tried. It was to actually play a little bit further up the rail, but put a lot of backspin on the cue ball, drive it into the rail quite hard to try and square up the angle. But suffice it to say, that's not what happened. And Noodle's just looking how he can. He's actually going for the 9. But he was looking to see where he could follow forward, but he went for the win right there. And you don't blame him for that. Give yourself a chance. So I'm looking at a very thin clip of this 4, try and come 2 rails below the 3-5. Basically we just got to chip the paint off the 2, try and hit the rail about there. Extremely thin. Of course, if you hit it too thick, 2's going to go all the way over and be close to the 8, in line with that corner pocket. Well, I caught it thin enough, but unfortunately so thin, I hit the bump. And that could have been worse, really. He's just going to draw back and leave me snookered once again. Nice shot there from Noodle. Slightly easier one to kick at. No obstructing balls. And I think the side pocket's slightly in the way. So if I aim for the imaginary diamond right behind the centre pocket, it means I just catch the point of the pocket just above the opening. And that should take me down close to that 2. Once again, I'm a bit short. Ball in hand to Noodle. Can he take advantage of this? Two, 3, 4 all waiting down here, then 5, 6 had connected. Just making his little plan. That's a little angle on the 4. You can just play directly up table, I think. Just 1 rail up. Nice angle here. I think the 6 does pass the 8 in that top left. I could just stun for the 6 in the same pocket, and in the end just seemed to deliver the cue a little bit quick. And this is dressed up, so opportunity. I'm just trying to work out if I can follow it forward and just drift past the 6 for the left side pocket. Trying to kiss it. Oh, and that's a nice little bump. Actually gives me the perfect angle. I can just drop this in. I just want to get past the pocket line of the 7, so I can top it in and just come off the bottom rail and come up towards the 8. And just had a little look at the 8 to see where I want it to be. It's thinner than it looks. I need to try and get the cue ball at least up to halfway and try and get it over on the right hand side a little bit as well. And this is coming up nicely. Just a natural angle here, I can baby this in and leave myself the unmissable 9 for the match. So I'm quite pleased to have come through and won the winner's side. So I'll be then waiting as Noodle goes over to the B side and see who I ultimately meet in the full final. So there we go, folks. If you enjoy that, please give us a like, subscribe, and you'll be notified next time we go live or publish a video. And stay tuned for the final coming up.